Chelyabinsk Oblast is a federal subject of Russia in the Ural Mountains region on the border of Europe and Asia. Its administrative center is the city of Chelyabinsk. Population 3,476,217. History. During the Middle Ages, the southern Urals were populated by Bashkir tribes that were part of the Golden Horde, Nogai Horde, and smaller Bashkir unions. The area was incorporated into the Tsardom of Russia in the late 16th century. However, Russian colonization of the region only began in the 18th century, with the establishment of a system of fortresses and trade posts on the then Russian border by the Orenburg expedition in 1734. Many cities of Chelyabinsk Oblast, including the city of Chelyabinsk itself, trace the history back to those forts. In 1743, the Chelyabinsk fortress became a center of the Mysid province, a constituent part of the Orenburg Governorate. The 1750s-1770s saw the emergence of industrial enterprises in South Ural, when the first factory-centered towns like Mysid and Zlatoust were founded. After South Ural recovered from the Pugachev's rebellion, the territory of modern-day Chelyabinsk Oblast started to attract more people from the European part of Russia. By the mid-19th century, Chelyabinsk was a major trade center in Ural, and after the construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway in the 1890s, it became an important transport hub that connected Siberia to the rest of the Russian Empire. In 1919, Chelyabinsk became the regional capital of the newly formed Chelyabinsk Governorate, which combined eastern portions of the Orenburg Governorate with Kurgan of the Tobolsk Governorate. At this time, the population of the new region already exceeded 1 million people. In 1923, together with the Perm, Yekaterinburg and Taman governorates, it was merged into a single Ural Oblast that lasted less than 10 years, until 1934. On January 17, 1934, Chelyabinsk Oblast was finally established. Its current boundaries were formed when Kurgan Oblast was detached from it in 1943. Soviet industrialization. During the 1930s, the regional economy and industrial output grew as Chelyabinsk Oblast became a key focus of the first 5-year plans. Key factories and enterprises that formed the core of the modern Chelyabinsk economy, including the Magnitogorsk Iron and Steel Works, the Chelyabinsk Tractor Plant and the Chelyabinsk Metallurgical Plant, were founded at this time. The economy continued to grow with the outbreak of the Great Patriotic War, as industries were evacuated from the western parts of the Soviet Union to Ural and Chelyabinsk Oblast in particular. During the war, Magnitogorsk alone produced 1/3 of all Soviet steel, while the city of Chelyabinsk became the main center of Soviet tank production, earning the nickname Tankorgrad. Nuclear research. Chelyabinsk Oblast has been associated with top-secret nuclear research since the 1940s. While there are no nuclear power stations in Chelyabinsk, a number of production reactors were located there, starting with the early Cold War. A serious nuclear accident occurred in 1957 at the Mysid nuclear fuel reprocessing plant, 150 kilometers northwest of the city, which led to evacuations and fatalities throughout the oblast. Although not in Chelyabinsk city, the province was closed to all foreigners until 1992, with the sole exception of allowing a British medical team following a 2-train rail explosion in the mid-1980s. The documentary Chelyabinsk, the most contaminated spot on the planet, was made by Slavomir Grunberg about the unsafe dumping of radioactive waste in the Teka River and Lake Karachay. Geography. Chelyabinsk Oblast is on the eastern slope of the southern Urals. Only a small part of the territory to the west is on the western slopes of the southern Urals. Chelyabinsk Oblast is situated in the southern Urals, near Kurgan and Sverdlovsk Oblast. Most of the oblast is located to the east of the Ural Mountains, which form the continental boundary between Europe and Asia. This boundary is marked by a stone pillar at the Urato Pass near the Urzhumka station, which has Europe written on one side and Asia on the other. In Chelyabinsk Oblast, Zlatoust City, Khatov Ivanovsky, and Satka are located in Europe, while Chelyabinsk, Troitsk, and Mysid are in Asia. Magnitogorsk is located on both continents. The area of Chelyabinsk Oblast is 88,900 square kilometers. The total length of its external border is 2,750 kilometers, and the oblast measures 400 kilometers from north to south and 490 kilometers from west to east. Relief. Chelyabinsk Oblast has a very diverse landscape, ranging from lowlands and hilly plains to mountain ranges with peaks exceeding 1,000 meters, including Nergush Mountain. The mountainous area has several ski resorts. The West Siberian Plain is bounded on the west horizontal, which passes through the village of Bagayek, Kunishak and continues through Chelyabinsk to the south. The lowlands are located in the northeast, and the elevation drops to 130 meters in the eastern border region. Hydrology. Numerous rivers, including the Kama, Tobol and Ural, originate within the region. The region is home to 348 rivers longer than 10 kilometers, 17 of which are over 100 kilometers in length. 7 rivers, the Mysid, Ural, Ufa, Uvelka, and Gumbika, pass through the area and are longer than 200 kilometers. Chelyabinsk Oblast is also home to more than 3,748 lakes, mostly located in the north and east and covering a total area of 2,125 square kilometers. Many of the lakes in this area, including Lake Turgoyk, Zhyoradkal, and Lake Itkal, are famous for their clear waters and attract tourism. Some of the lakes in the eastern foothills have tectonic origins as water accumulated in tectonic failures, resulting in very deep lakes that can reach 30 to 40 meters. Politics. During the Soviet period, the highest authority in the oblast was shared between 3 positions: the first secretary of the Chelyabinsk CPSU Committee, the chairman of the Oblast Soviet, and the chairman of the Oblast Executive Committee. Since the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, the CPSU lost its monopoly on power. Today, the Charter of Chelyabinsk Oblast governs the political structure of the region. The Legislative Assembly of Chelyabinsk Oblast serves as the province's regional parliament and exercises legislative authority, with the power to pass laws, resolutions, and other legal acts and oversee their implementation and observance. The oblast government, led by the governor, is the highest executive body in the region, and includes territorial executive bodies such as district administrations, committees, and commissions that facilitate development and run the day-to-day matters of the province. Administrative divisions. Demographics. Population 3,476,217, 3,603,339, 3,623,732. Chelyabinsk Oblast is highly urbanized. According to the 2010 census, the oblast's ethnic composition was 2,829,899 Russians, 180,913 Tatars, 162,513 Bashkirs, 50,081 Ukrainians, 35,297 Kazakhs, 18,687 Germans, 13,035 Belarusians, 12,147 Mordvins, 9,311 Armenians, 65,190 others. 99,144 people were registered from administrative databases and could not declare an ethnicity. It is estimated that the proportion of ethnicities in this group is the same as that of the declared group. Births, 47,300. Deaths, 49,469. Vital statistics for 2012: births, 49,885. Deaths, 49,367. Total fertility rate. Religion. According to a 2012 official survey, 30.9% of the population of Chelyabinsk Oblast adheres to the Russian Orthodox Church. 8% are unaffiliated generic Christians. 5% adheres to other Orthodox churches. 8% of the population is Muslim. 1% adheres to Slavic Rodnovery, and 0.4% of forms of Hinduism. In addition, 29% of the population deems itself to be spiritual but not religious, 14% is atheist, and 4.7% follows other religions. Did not give an answer to the question. 2013 meteor. On February 15, 2013, a 10,000-ton meteoroid entered the Earth's atmosphere over Russia at about 9:20 YEKT. It passed over the southern Ural region and exploded in an airburst over Chelyabinsk Oblast. About 1,500 people were reported injured, including 311 children. Health officials said 112 people had been hospitalized, mainly from injuries caused by glass from windows shattered by a shockwave. 2 were reported to be in serious condition. As many as 3,000 buildings in 6 cities across the region were damaged by the explosion and impacts. The meteor created a dazzling light as it airburst, bright enough to cast shadows during broad daylight in Chelyabinsk. Vital statistics for 2008. Source: